Hello, guys, everyone. Welcome to the first Wolfie Jen react video, and I'll be reacting to um, a video that's saying 2 reasons not to move to Kansas City, and this is really just my opinion, and it's their opinion, and I'm just sharing my opinion against their opinion. So don't take it serious. Take it with a grain of salt. This is not a serious thing you should consider if you're actually trying to move here. Everyone here is just having fun, and I need to pause my video now because I just realized I need to change my video ratio, so I'll be right back. I can't change it. Damn. You know what? It's gonna be my forehead. Oh my god. I should have changed it. I can't change it now? Oh, nope, I hit record. Okay, never mind. Once I hit record, I cannot change it. So, you're gonna be looking at my forehead. Alright, let's get started.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to World Coordinated Briggs. My name is Briggs, and it is time to get back to the old style of videos. Roasting cities. At least that's what people say I do. I don't think so. I look at it this way. All cities have their good and their bad. They all have their pros and their cons. I just focus on the bad. If you want to see nothing but the good, contact a real estate agent or go to the city's tourism website. It's all rainbow and sunshine there. You might even get a foot massage if you show up at the office. Real estate agents can't be doing good right now. These videos aren't designed to tell you not to move someplace. They're just to show you some things that you should know about if you're thinking about moving to one of those places. I mean, if a place has a low cost of living, high unemployment, and bad schools, it probably is more suited for a retiree. A new family starting out is going to need good schools and, jobs, so it's probably not the best place for them. Retirees aren't looking for jobs or schools. They just want a low cost of living. Alright, so who are we talking about today? Kansas City. For starters, KC isn't all bad. It has some great suburbs, amazing barbecue places, they have the Royals and the Chiefs. They have a decent zoo, and it's home to my favorite all-time president, Harry S. Truman. Actually, he's from one of the suburbs, which is Independence, Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri.
He also forgot to mention it's home to, well, not in Kansas City, but in Lee Summit is home to Tech 9. So, I'm just saying, you're missing a detail. Tech 9. Anyway, back to the video.
Almost has 500,000 residents, with a little over 2 million living in the metro area. That's a good-sized city, especially for this part of the country. There's a lot of reasons to move to Kansas City, but let's take a look at why you might not want to. Number 10. It's in the middle of frickin' nowhere. Kansas City is basically in the middle of the country, and it's flat. So if you like the...
This is true. People say that they get scared coming to my house because it's surrounded with woods and it's creepy. We are home of the nowhere.
Or the mountains, beware. It's roughly 800 miles away from the nearest ocean beach, and that's about a 12-hour drive. If you like to hike in the mountains, you have to drive 5 hours to the south for some so-so mountain hiking, or go big and head out to Denver, a 10-hour drive west. The next major cities are at least a 3-hour drive away, 5 if you want to visit one that is semi-safe. The good news is lakes and rivers. They have a lot of them.
I wonder what he mean by 5 hours to visit a city that's semi-safe. I don't know what city he's referring to, but I know St. Louis is like 1.5 hours from here, and Chicago is 8 hours from here. And then 3 hours from here is Nebraska, Omaha. And then I think the only city that's 5 hours away from here is Oklahoma City, but don't quote me on that, I could be wrong.
The difference here is one has surf and margaritas and the other one has Budweiser and fishing with explosives sometimes. I choose the beach every time because I like margaritas and I also like explosives. I don't know. I'd rather go to the beach. Number 9. Costs are going up. With so many major...
In our lakes, we have leashes. So in certain lakes, since we don't have beaches around here, there is certain lakes you can go swim in, but be warned, if you go swimming in the lake, I have had to pull a leash off of somebody one, and those things suck your blood. I never gotten bitten by a leash, but it doesn't look so good. So be warned.
cities in that part of the country losing people, Kansas City has been seeing an inward migration, which has raised the cost of living at a pace above the norm for this part of the country. It's not the worst, but it's heading that way. You got people vacating cities like Chicago, Detroit, and Cleveland, Toledo, and they're heading to places like Kansas City. Kansas City already has some steep utility rates.
And that's why we have issues. Why are you coming to the middle of nowhere?
And it's getting worse. The city has plans in place to spend roughly $30 million per year to replace old water lines in which the residents all have to pay for. Not coming out of the taxes. I'm sure some of it's coming out of the taxes, but what they're really doing is tacking extra costs onto your bill. Rates had to increase over time due to an agreement with the Environmental Protection Agency to reduce sewage overflows. The average water bill in the U.S. is about $70 a month. In Kansas City, it's about $115 a month and climbing. But at least it's not Flint, Michigan. Their water is toxic and they still charge a premium. What kind of hustle is that? But yeah, it's not really a reason not to move here. It's just one of those things you should be aware of, especially if you're trying to move someplace for a lower cost of living. It might not be low in Kansas City for much longer. Number 8, high crime. Kansas City ranks as the 5th most dangerous city in the country, behind St. Louis, Detroit, Baltimore, and
by the way, he's talking about Kansas City, Missouri. If you guys don't know this, a lot of people don't know this. When people mention Kansas City, they don't think of like Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. It's a metropolitan city. So there's Kansas City, Kansas, and there's Kansas City, Missouri. He's talking about Kansas City, Missouri. Let's be very clear about that, okay? There's not much going on here in Kansas City, Kansas.
Memphis. That is not good company right there. Those cities are to crime what the Kardashians are to plastic surgery. They have far too much of it. In 2019, Kansas City had 148 murders and a violent crime rate of 1,735 per every 100,000 residents. That's pretty high. Most of the murders take place in high crime neighborhoods, but the entire city of Kansas City has been known as a good place to kick the oxygen habit for
I just want to pause this video and say that this is very true. Somebody who went to my high school lost their life on the Kansas City, Missouri side. And, yeah, he passed away. So this is very true. Sad and unfortunate. It is true. Also, we get a lot of child abductions, like emergency rings. I think that was in 2019. We got a lot of them. It'd be like every other month a child get abducted or something like that. So keep your kids safe. It's high crime rate.
Some time now. The crime rate in Kansas City could be due to the fact that the poverty rate is 50% higher than the national average. That is what people do when they are broke and desperate. They commit crimes. It's too bad that that's their situation. The state of Missouri has the 3rd worst drug problem in the country, and a majority of that drug problem is happening in 2 places, Kansas City and St. Louis. Number 7, the low tax myth. Every place has taxes. Some states might have taxes on everything but sales tax. Other states might have taxes on everything but income tax. Some states get a reputation for being a low tax state. Missouri is one of those states. Everyone thinks they have extremely low taxes. The fact is, they're really just middle of the road. They have all the normal taxes, not terribly high, but they're there. It is just weird that they've always had this reputation for being a low tax state. And then you have Kansas City. They take that middle-of-the-road tax status and spice it up a bit. They have this thing called the earning tax. It is a 1% tax on an individual's earned income, such as salaries, wages, commission.
Alright, so I'm not really sure about this whole thing, but I know it's like a 10 cents tax on each item.
Tips, and other compensation. Kansas City is one of the few cities that has its own earning tax in addition to all the state and federal taxes. They also charge sales tax on everything, it seems. Nothing escapes the tax man in Missouri. Number 6, the weather. Kansas City might be considered a little boring. Their weather, on the other hand, is not. The weather can't make up its mind. One day...
Yes, I totally agree with this. The weather is freaking bipolar here. It is so true. It cannot make up its mind.
Nice and warm, the very next day it's freezing cold. It's almost like the weather thinks it's a judge on America's Next Top Model and wants to see you wearing different things every day. Okay, let's see how you look in a halter top and cutoff jeans. That's right, work it, Daisy Duke. Now come back tomorrow in a sweater. Now tomorrow come back in cutoff jeans. The next day it wants you in a windbreaker. Now a parka. You need a scarf. Kansas City has one of the highest hail risks in the country. That's always good news. It's also near the epicenter of Tornado Alley, which who doesn't love a good tornado? The winters are very cold, dry, and windy.
Alright, so my city is very weird. When we have a tornado warning, a siren, people like to make videos and go outside and be like, oh my gosh, it's the tornado drill. Like, oh, like people like to not tornado drill, like when there's an actual tornado warning going on, the first thing they do is go outside and go find a tornado. So...
He normally sees 21 days a year where the thermostat never climbs above freezing. The coldest nights in Kansas City every year drop somewhere around 0 degrees Fahrenheit, that's minus 18 degrees Celsius, or lower. It can get a little cold here. The summers are nice though, but yeah, when they get some bad weather, it's weird. Number 5, the worst city for singles. Recently, Kansas City was ranked as the worst city for dating.
See, I knew it. I thought it was just me. I knew it. This is why I'm single. Guilty.
Only 8.6% of the population here is in the 18 to 24 age range, 18 to 24 being the prime dating years. The national average is 12.2%, and most of the major cities you'll see it around 14 to 17%. So yeah, they don't have a lot of people in their prime dating years. The city mostly caters to older generations. That's just how it is in Kansas.
Yeah, 18 to 24, they don't want to be tied down or they don't want to be in a relationship. They just want to mess around. And I'm 25, so I'm past that dating range. 18 to 24, I'm done.
City in pretty much Missouri. I mean, they got Branson in Missouri, so that should tell you something. It's said that traditionally people meet through mutual friends, work, or school in Kansas City only. That's because a lot of the residents tend to be more closed off to someone just approaching them. One girl said that she keeps her Grubhub app right next to her Tinder app because she knows after swiping for 5 minutes, she'll be dining alone once again. Number 4, getting around. If you don't have a car in Kansas City, you're kind of screwed. Everything is a drive. The city isn't built up, it's built out.
Yep, that's pretty much me. I can't drive because of my disability, so pretty much screwed.
The public transit system in Kansas City is almost laughable. Now, I'm a big fan of cities with good transit systems. It's a sign that they're doing things right, planning for their future. Trains are preferable, but a good city bus system is still fine. Kansas City has an okay bus system, but their train is just one strip. In 2016, they opened a streetcar, and they have plans for expansions, but like I said, it's just one northwest strip.
If you want to go to the train station, you have to drive 30 minutes to get there first. I'm just saying.
Right now. It is limited, but it's a step in the right direction. City trains fell out of fashion, I think, in the 1980s, probably from all the movies and all the bad things that happened on the subway system in New York.
But one thing that's good about our train system is it's not just a train station. If you go there, it has museums, it has exhibits. It has something called Science City attached to it. So our Union Station, it's not just a train station. It is so much more. And it even have a movie theater in it. And it has a whole mall. It's just huge. Lego City attached to it. You can go hunt zombies. So that's a plus. That is a plus.
City during the 60s and 70s, they kind of fell out of fashion and people weren't going that direction anymore. Cities around the late to mid 1980s started looking into trains again and seeing that it's something that they need. But really, a city building a train is like they're laying groundwork down for future prosperity. And all the cool cities have them, so I mean, you gotta have them now, right? Number 3, it's got one of the worst airports. If you've ever been to Kansas City International Airport, you know it blows. The airport covers over 10,000 acres and has 3 runways. In 2018, the airport had 124,000 aircraft operations. That's an average of 341 per day. MCI was recently ranked as the 3rd worst airport in the country. It's not what you would consider conveniently located to the city. It's about 20 miles away from Kansas City. Most of the parking is inconveniently located really far away from the terminal. Parking parking your car and getting to the terminal takes about as long as a root canal and is just about as enjoyable. So your best bet is to Uber or get a Lyft or pay a good amount of money for a valet. The airport is way too small, not enough seating. People are forced to stand or sit on the dirty floor. Bathrooms are really small too. I don't know what that one's all about, but the bathrooms are really small. It's like when they built it, they're all, not that many people use the bathroom in this city. We don't need many. And let's make them small. It's really weird. It's typically more expensive to...
This doesn't sound fun because I've never been on an airplane, but if I ever do get to that situation where I have to go fly somewhere, this doesn't sound fun. I can't have an opinion on this because I have dropped my dad off to like the airport, but I never been in it. I never used the terminal, so I don't know how bad it is.
Out of Kansas City also because it's not a major hub, so you're getting charged extra to go to a place that's worse. It's a total hustle. Number 2, the Kansas City rivalry. Now, this one is weird, and it's really not a reason not to move here. It's just strange, and you should know about it because it's weird. Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas are two very different places. The city's name is basically their only common ground. That's the only thing these places have in common, and they'll tell you all about it. Locals from each state always think that their side of the city is better than the other side.
Wait, no. I did not think that. I think the Kansas City, far as crime, Kansas City, Kansas is better. Far as having things to do, Kansas City, Missouri is better. But Kansas City, Missouri is more of the old Kansas City side. It's like the old school. You see the old buildings, the architects, the history, the jazz museum. Kansas City, Kansas is more moderate school. I don't know. Like it's different. They're both different.
Even though they're in the same metro area and are only divided by the Missouri River. This nonsense goes all the way back to 1854 when Kansas first became a U.S. territory. If you move to either side and you're paying your mortgage and you're living there and you start getting to know people, don't act like they're the same place. They will get a little hot under the collar. Doesn't matter what side of the river you're on. Years back, them were fighting words. These days, it's just a lot of eye rolling, a lot of head shaking. And they know that you're not from there. And if you do find someone that's okay with it and they don't see a difference either, they're a transplant also. And number 1, segregation. Now, I hate adding this subject to it, but it's seen as one of the main reasons people...
Wait, I'm thinking now. I just had to say something because you said segregation. What is it? Where is this going? Segregation, okay.
Move to Kansas City. I hate it because I hate the filtered comments that are left behind. The filtered comments that you guys never see are always hurtful, and they give me a pain in my chest that I can't stand. So I don't read them anymore. I just have someone delete them for me. Kansas City is one of the most segregated cities in the country. Now, I won't go deep into this one, but I will tell you about one aspect. The Kansas City School District found that the public and charter schools are increasingly racially segregated. In fact, the district released analysis showing that the city's school system is more segregated now than it was in the 1990s. I wish it wasn't that way. I mean, I was raised by a mom that told me everyone's the same. It sounded good to me, so I've always lived by that. Alright, so that is our list today, kind of getting back to the old type of list we used to do. I hope you guys enjoyed it, hope you got some information out of it. Tell me what you thought in the comment section below, and keep the comments appropriate. I'd really appreciate that. Everybody have a great day, be safe, and be nice to each other.
Alright, so that was me reacting to 10 reasons why not to move to Kansas City. I actually found it very humorous and actually kind of accurate. The segregation thing, I feel like it might have gotten better. A lot of people on here is, I guess, they might be racist, but they don't, I don't know. You can see it in their actions. But sometimes it's not even that. There's some people like on the Kansas City, Kansas side, for me, that are really, really friendly and not racist. They just say it how it is. They are straightforward with you and they're honest. So that could be a Missouri thing, but here in Kansas City, Kansas, I don't know if I see that much of that segregation thing. But it's especially since the city have developed, like we even have a certain church in the area. We have a Muslim church. Like the city has developed so much. Muslims, Jewish, Hinduism. Like, I had a friend in high school who believed in Hinduism. So it has gotten very diverse to me in my head, my opinion. It has increasingly been diverse. But I appreciate everyone coming and watching my video. Leave a comment below if you're enjoying this. Let me know. Will you ever move to Kansas City? Comment below, let me know. And thank you all for coming. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you guys in the next video.